I want to set my intentions for the week. Just say it out loud. Let me actually play this because it's so peaceful. I don't know if you can hear it. I think the computers do a pretty good job, even Zoom, when there's like music or sound coming out of your laptop speakers, but the actual laptop microphone doesn't pick it up, which is pretty cool. Um, okay, so for this week, my brother, when I'm stressed about something, I want to write it down. Okay, every stressful thought, write it down. I want to because the thing is, they just appear, bro. Like I'll be going through my day, but the chicken in your fridge, it's been in there for 3 days, it's gonna go bad. What a random thought to have, but good that I'm having, right? Because what it's saying is, look, you need to handle your stuff so you don't get in X, Y, and Z. It's good to have that stress and have that thought. So immediate stress helps me realize I have something I need to do, and here's a reminder: feel this feeling. But you have to actually go do it, right? I think sitting on that thought, not actually doing the action and letting it sit for a long period of time, that builds up stress. Stress as an instantaneous feeling is key, but for it to sit on you is useless. So every time you have a stressful thought, write it down because that if your body is sending you stress over a certain belief or something, that means there's something there that has to be done. So I woke up today morning. It's just so stupid. I stressed out about that. I stressed out about like sending in my some work stuff, but just unnecessary, right? I checked both of them and now I feel good. So every time you have a stressful thought, write it down. So either you can do it that moment. If you can't do it then, you can do it later, but you have it down so you know you have like a to-do stressful list, right? So let's actually write that right now. I have an empty page somewhere. Here it is. Okay. Stress page. Okay, you can write it here. Okay, cool. But nice. I think I have like 2 pages. I have 1 page left in my journal. How crazy is that, dude? That's nuts. Okay, so for this week, okay. Um, First, hi. Thanks for being alive, brother. Um, that is definitely the lesson of I think just in general, man. Like you are alive, you are healthy, you are becoming an intelligent, capable man. And so when you walk into the world, know that that's what you bring to the table. Um, this idea of walking with fear, walking as if you're alone and you don't have an army behind you, those are all things that people around you feel. When you interact with strangers, it's something you can pick up. Oh, this man is weak. This man has no back, like no like girth of like just being a person. Like you don't want to walk around like this incapable, like, oh, pity me, I'm so soft, life is so hard. Like that's whack, man. It is time for you to step out of those pants. No longer will the world conform to what you want. You must mold the world into what you want. It's not going to just come for you. So it's like that's something that's big for me. Like crying, whining. Yesterday I was so hungry. I was like, I'm so hungry. Man, I wish it went away. No, you go do something about it. Like you can't just sit there and cry about stuff anymore. And it's like you're getting to a point where when you're a kid, you can sit there and your mom will come, your dad will come, your family friends will come, the society kind of caters to you. You're your child, right? Society will do things for you to survive, for you to like your time. But as you get older and older, it's on you now. And so that's like an important lesson. Like really, like I have now taken the mantle. What I want to create my life is in my hands, and I have to go do it. And I think a big part of that for me now is feeling fear, but not showing it, right? Not letting the world see how afraid I am, not letting the world see how alone I sometimes feel. It's important to feel those things because you got to feel your feelings, but it's also important to be aware of what you put out into the world. You put out, I'm lonely, I'm sad, blah, blah, blah. That's the type of people you'll attract. And so, this Europe travel, that's a pretty scary thing to do. I mean, not only that, a lot of the things you did this year were scary. But for some reason, I do these scary things and then I don't recognize the fact that I did something out of my comfort zone and I accomplished it. So sitting back and reflecting, right, is key. I really, really went out of my comfort zone this year in so many ways, socially, physically, emotionally. Just, I'm really proud of that. Right? And so, what are some things that you're afraid of? You're afraid of confrontation. You're afraid of rejection. You're afraid of loneliness, like true loneliness, true and utter loneliness. And what does that let's talk about that. What does true and utter loneliness look like? It is not a world in which I don't even think it's a world where I'm alone in a mountain. I don't count that as lonely. I count lonely as a state where you have the possibility of human interaction, you seek human interaction, and you get denied human interaction. So it's like if I see other people all jovial, all connecting with each other, that's me seeing the possibility because I could just walk and go interact with them. It's me seeing that I want it, and it's me seeing that I don't get it. So it fills all three of those criteria. That's one case. Another case is walking on the streets and seeing a stranger smiling and not getting a smile back. Another one, I look for it, it's possible, I don't get it. And so I met this guy last week. He was a street performer, and I was like, all right, and I just went and sat next to him, man, and we were just talking, we were just chatting, and he was so cool. But one thing I really liked about him is he was nice and said hi to every person that walked by him, not for the money, but because he was a kind person. Like I told him from the start, I was like, dude, like the thing is, I didn't have cash. Like, I need to start carrying cash for exactly for that reason. But I didn't have cash, and I was like, hey man, like I honestly love your music. I really like would love to just sit here and watch you play. I just don't have any cash on me. He's like, of course, man. If it's gonna make my whole point is to make people's day better. Come sit and like we had great conversations. But one thing I feel like I really got from him is that like he didn't care. He smiled and said hi to everyone, no matter how they responded. Most people responded negatively, but he didn't stop. And that takes a lot of self confidence and like assuredness to know that no matter how these people respond, I'm going to respond to my best ability with kindness. And that's like, that takes a big, big man. I don't know how, just a big person. I mean, it's easy to be jaded. Um, really, really easy to be jaded. I get jaded so quick. I'll say hi to everyone. I had a whole day where no one said back. Man, I'm not going to do it anymore. Why? Because you were afraid of rejection more than you enjoy the possible connection that a few highs get. For every no, it feels like 1,000 yeses, right? And that's a problem. Until it's equal, in fact, until no's may even mean very little and yeses mean a lot, you switch it around, life is just going to always like, oh, I got one no. All right, if I'm done, I'm not going to do it anymore, right? To be a warrior, you got to get through a no after no after no after no. It does not matter. Talk about a business idea, talk about your podcast. You're not going to blow up ever, but you got to keep going. It does not, it doesn't, one day with that belief in mind, belief in yourself and belief in your idea and belief in the values that you put out into the world, keep going, right? Like I have to really just do better with that. Um, I'm too, my base is not strong enough to keep me, hold me still against the wind. I fall over. And so talking to that guy yesterday, you gotta pick up. And I know people say, oh, like there's no roles, man, woman, whatever. But for me, it helps me become the person I want to be when I characterize it by being a man, like being whatever I define to be a man. So whatever is a socially correct thing to say, for me, it's beneficial to be like, these are the characteristics of a man, and I am a child or a boy now. And for me, that's helpful. Each person can do their own thing, teach their own. But for me, I find it extremely helpful to be like, these are the characteristics of a man, and I want to get there, right? It can also be the characteristics of a great person. But I think for each individual, I think the characteristics that I am thinking of what a quote unquote, it's just, I can't explain it. Because it's like, look, like for me, it feels like that transition from boy to manhood is something that I value and is important to me. I don't know whether it could be societal, it could be, you know, genetic, like it could be something you just feel like I have transitioned from boy to man. It could totally be societal. Maybe I just read a bunch of books as a kid and I really strongly relate to that. Totally possible. It's hard to tell. But it is at the end of the day something I do relate to, right? Like that transition of I am ready to support my community, my family, and I like that. Like the fact that feeling like a man means providing service to those around me in my life, to myself, taking care of myself, but not only me, but to the human beings around me, like who does that hurt? Like I'll take that. I'm not saying you can't do that. Like I'm pretty sure there are a lot of women on this planet who feel that I am becoming a woman. I'm a girl, I'm a woman. Like I don't know. It just I don't know. But that transit so I use man multiple times and for each person man can mean completely different. But for me, that word and what it means to be a man, and these are all traits that anyone could have. But for me, what it means is someone who's capable of being like extremely soft, which means being empathetic and kind and loving, but at the same time, when need be, being extremely hard. So I can't do that switch yet, but I need to learn that, right, through martial arts, through the ability to learn how to protect myself, protect others, right? You learn how to build things, right? Someone who's extremely useful with their hands, but also their brain. It's like this perfect human, basically, right? Someone who can build their own house, fix their own plumbing, fix their car, but at the same time can also read, analyze, critically think, philosophize. Like it's like the ability to yin and yang of everything. And so I guess that ideal person to me, which could totally be a woman, to me is a man. Um, and so that is what I'm striving for. I'm striving to be that one day. And I think it's a high bar, but I will do my best until I die to get a little closer to it every day, you know? But yeah, all right, well, that's today. So for this week, clean up my house right now, but for this week, I want to take risks. I want to fail. I want to go out into the world and try things because because rejection far outweighs regret. And that's something I got to keep telling myself. Rejection far outweighs regret again and again and again. There is no world where regret is better. Do it. Whatever it is, you want to go talk to that pretty girl, go do it. You want to go try that new thing, go do it. You want to go eat because your stomach just tells you want to try a new place, go eat. Don't overthink, right? You're in here too much. It is time to be in the rest of your body. Feel your feelings and go do what your gut tells you to do. You don't need to be in your brain all the time. These are just things that I'm slowly picking, but that's what I want to do this week, right? I want to go with my gut. Tells you to do something, go do it. You don't need to think through what will be the benefits, what will be the pros and cons list, blah 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 blah. Like it's too methodical, way too methodical. Go live, make mistakes, live, right? You don't need to have such a structure in the way you do everything, right? Logic, blah blah blah. It's like too much. Relax, go do things, right? Just go live. So that's this week. I'm going to fail. I'm going to get rejected, but I'm not going to have regret. That is my motto for this week. All right, love you, Gotham.